Hey everyone, Crystal Gamer here, and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. And as you can probably see, this house is already started, and there is a part 1 to this video. It's actually a 10-minute build challenge is what the part 1 is. And so that is 10-minute build challenge number 3. I'll put the link for that in the description if you're interested in seeing the beginning of this and how this came to be this way here. And so anyway, it is the number 3 on the 10-minute build challenges I've done. That is the third one. And I have to say, I am really liking these 10-minute build challenges. Number 1, it's forcing me to build faster, which is something that I'm not used to at all. Number 2, I end up with kind of whatever I end up with, right? So I end up with something unexpected every time. So I'm not really planning it very much at all. And so I don't really know what I'm going to end up with. And the first time I ended up with that really red residence that was kind of modern in design, and it was just cute. It was really cute little 1-bedroom, 1-story residence. And the second time I ended up with that like really boxy, modern loft 1-bedroom apartment that I sort of designed with the idea that it was like a condo or a townhouse in a city. And now this one, number 3, this one ends up being a log cabin vacation rental. Adult only is kind of what I have in mind for this. And you know, it's coming to fruition basically because during the 10-minute build challenge, I was just picking stuff. Like I wasn't being very selective. I wasn't really worried about, okay, what am I choosing here? What colors or what patterns or whatever. So when I picked an exterior, I kind of just picked something sort of randomly, and same thing for the doors in the house. And so I ended up with this log exterior and these barn doors in the house. But when I was picking the furniture during that build challenge, it was kind of modern on the inside. So when I was done with that build challenge, I kind of looked at it and I said, you know what? I like this log exterior and these barn doors. This reminds me a lot of some of the vacation houses that I've rented in the Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge area of Tennessee. I vacation out there every now and then whenever I can. And they have these nice log homes out there. And a lot of them, at least the ones that I've rented, they're more adult friendly than kin friendly. They're usually, at least the ones I've rented, again, I'll paraphrase with that. I'm sure there are different kinds. I was in the market for a certain thing. But the ones that I've rented are either 1 or 2 bedroom, and they're kind of small. They're not typically really huge. 1 or 2 bedroom places, and they usually have some kind of recreation area that has something like a foosball table or pool table or maybe an arcade machine or different things like that. And almost all of them have hot tubs. So this home was basically inspired by those places that I've rented. And I did it kind of with that in mind. And I make this adult play space at the top. I create a loft up top with this adult play space, and this front area that we're looking at now, this living room, dining, kitchen area, ends up being a great room. It ends up open all the way up to the top. So it ends up really, really nice. If it was real life and you were walking in there, it would make that room feel very big because it's open all the way to the 2nd story. So that's kind of really cool. I don't make the dining room and living room area much bigger than it is here. Matter of fact, this might be the total size that I end up with. And that's because the places that I've rented are not typically they don't typically have a really huge living area like this, but they will have like a playroom type area. And that's what I end up creating in the loft. And so yeah, that's the idea that I had here. And I make this into a 2-bedroom, and both bedrooms are on the 1st floor, and the adult kind of play spaces ends up being on the 2nd floor. And doing that in a loft and making that sort of adult, rumpus room type place on the 2nd floor, I didn't need privacy up there. I have no bathrooms up there. I have no bedrooms up there. So there was no need for privacy up there. So I was able to window pretty much the whole thing front and back, which is gorgeous at the end. And so that's something that I end up really, really liking about this build. I keep it pretty neutral on the interior because most of the vacation rentals are pretty neutral on the interior. I keep not the bathrooms, both of the bedrooms pretty similar with blues. I decided to go with blues on that. I really like those new kind of closet locker things that they gave us. I thought that was really good for something like a hotel type place. And those log homes, they're not hotels, but they're a little bit, I don't know, they feel a little bit like hotels, and so I thought that those closet things worked really well for that. My only beef with that is I really wish that the creators gave us a different looking interiors, maybe had the doors either more or less open and maybe some different things on the interiors of those closets so that if you put two of them next to each other that are the same color, they don't look the same exact way, like with the same exact clothes and bags and things like they do now. But, hey, we have to live with it. I guess they can only put so much. But yeah, so I have a little bit in the blue family in the bedrooms, and the rest kind of stays pretty neutral because most of those log cabins do stay pretty neutral. But it's classic, it's classy, it's tastefully done, and really when you have a rental place like this, you tend to keep it a little bit more neutral because you have to satisfy a large crowd. So my thought is a little bit kind of along those lines. And I end up really liking the color scheme too, even though it doesn't really pop with color. It just really blends very nicely together. In the end, it all looks really good. And I love log homes too. For a long time, I wanted my own log home. I wanted to, that was kind of like the dream for a while, was to build a log home. But I don't know now that I want to do that or that I will do that. Who knows? Never know what life will bring. I like where I live now, so. And I end up really liking this living room. I bump out, I put a fireplace and I bump it out in a little while, and that ends up looking really cool. The floor to ceiling look on the fireplace, and I end up putting a piece of art above it and everything. It ends up looking really nice. Getting the kitchen all in, nice dining area. I'm so happy. I've got a lot of new stuff that I got from Santa over Christmas, and I'm happy that I have new curtains and things to decorate with. That's really fabulous because one of my complaints has been sort of a lack of curtains and stuff like that. But well, now I have some more curtains, so I'm happy about that. So I'm going to complain about something else. How bad is that? No, but I kind of wish that some of the curtains they give us, I love that they give us two different like left and right pieces sometimes. So we can choose to either have one side or the other. And I love that they do that, but I really wish that they had bars for the middle so that you could choose how wide across you wanted to go. That would be really fabulous. So if anyone in EA Games ever listens to this, I would love to have bars for in between so that I could widen curtains if I want to. But I love the left right on the drapery. To be able to have that control is really cool. And getting some artwork and stuff in here, making it look nice and hotel-y. I end up changing some of this later on though. I think I expand this remote and move some things around a little bit. I always end up changing things as I go. I'm sure most people do. And right now I still have my work lights on in here, and that round light there, I forget what it's called in the game, but that's always my work lights when I'm designing and developing. Those are the lights that I use because they're really bright and they're not too obtrusive. But in that dining room, that ends up having one of the really nice big chandeliers, and I was so excited that this build gave me a chance to use that because there are a couple of chandeliers in the game that I just love, and you just need certain types of builds. I mean, you need really high ceilings, you need certain types of builds for them. Not every build calls for them. Matter of fact, most builds don't. So it was nice getting to use one of the really cool chandeliers for this. You can see me trying to mess with the doors there, trying to make it look a little bit different. I was kind of successful when I put the third closet in there to kind of cover it up. But the thing, I read something somewhere that your stuff will not get featured on the gallery, or it won't show up in searches or some such thing if you have any what's it called? I'm not going to be able to think of the word. You know, when you have two items right next to each other, and you get that kind of God, what is that called? The color will be off, like the light will be off, and you'll be able to see it. And I cannot for the life of me think of what that's called right now, but hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. But anyway, if that happens, and that does sometimes happen when you overlay more than one item in the game, you will have this kind of weird light color situation that happens. And so, yeah, apparently they won't, I don't know if they I don't know if it's like putting your stuff available in searches on the gallery or what. I don't really know exactly what the deal is. I just know that they said that basically it won't get as much exposure if that happens. So I decided not to put the closets on top of one another because it was creating that effect. Yeah, I play with these lights a little bit there. You can see I put in a couple of different sets of lights, and those end up going and in favor of the really big chandelier. Because it dawns on me at some point, like right now I'm putting those lights on the second floor. Well, they're in mid-air. We don't end up with the ceiling there. There's, that ends up open to the second floor completely, and so having those lights there just doesn't work. I like this light. That's a new light, the one that I'm playing with right there, and I put in the corner. That's kind of neat. Very modern looking new light that I got. I don't even know which pack the stuff's from. Santa was so good to me. I got so many different packs and stuff. I have every expansion pack now. I have a lot of game packs and stuff packs, and I haven't even gone through it all yet. I just have so much new stuff. I'm so overwhelmed with the amount of stuff I have in the most awesome way. That is not at all a complaint, even a little bit. It's just so much. I don't even know what I have. Oh, and here I go starting to make the fireplace area really cool. I end up really liking this fireplace area. It's one of my favorite areas in the house, and just the whole great room that I end up with in here. I end up just in general really liking this build. It is definitely, it becomes a vacation home that I would very, very much like to vacation in. I would absolutely vacation in this place. And with the hot tub out back. And I end up doing a little fire pit out back and everything too. So wow, that was an interesting fence for a second there, wasn't it? Like we were in prison for a moment. Oh, the chimney on this property pained me though. Oh, I wanted to have, I've got this big 3 square thick chimney right now, and I wanted it to lessen going up at the top. I wanted to end up with 1 square, but we don't have anything in the game that allows us to have that effect of a chimney gradually, tapering down at the top. And yeah, I struggled with that for a while, trying to figure out what to do with it. I ended up with a decent solution at the end. You guys will see that, but it was a pain for a little while. And me with the roofing. Roofing is not typically, like, at least I feel like it's not a strong suit of mine. I always feel like I have a hard time with roofs, but this one I think maybe went on pretty easy. It looked pretty easy there anyway. Who knows? I may change it though. I can't remember now. I recorded this a little while ago, the actual video part of it. I did the build a little while ago, and so this is my first time seeing it for a little bit, and I can't remember if I changed the roof. But knowing me, I'd probably make some changes. Yes, I love that fireplace area. I do this awesome thing with some metal piping or something like that is actually meant to go in kind of like, I would imagine it's meant to go in like a New York City loft type thing. And you guys will see that. It looks great there. I think it does. I get rid of those closets that are back there. I end up making this whole back thing ends up becoming windows. So right now is my preliminary phase of kind of getting sort of adult toys up there that I was thinking that I might want, like a bar and a karaoke machine and a game table, massage chair, chess table, things that I'm thinking that the adults might maybe want in a vacation home. You want a little place to play. This is in my imagination because of the places that I've stayed at before and what inspired this. This home is up in the mountains somewhere. So it's not the warmest location. So you want some stuff to do indoors on your vacation. It's nice to have some stuff at the vacation rental itself that's inside versus, a lot of vacations, you go to these tropical locations, you're going to be outside a lot. If you're in the mountains, you might want to have more fun stuff on the interior. And here I go windowing us up all over the place. And I really do, I like having the windows front to back, especially when that chandelier goes in and you can see it looking front to back and you can see the chandelier through the windows, and it's just fabulous in my opinion. I love those new chairs there too, those chairs that I just put in with that little circular table. I'm not sure which pack that's from. I don't know what anything is from at this point. I have so much new stuff I can't even tell you. So overwhelmed. And you can see in my thing down the way, you can see there's a lot of stuff that's still starred as I'm building this. It has little stars on it. So I was getting to use all kinds of, I think almost everything I used in this house is stuff that I've never used before. Here I go putting in the awesome chandelier. I think I changed it though. I don't end up with the round one. I end up with the other one. Yeah, that one's not the one that's the one I end up with. That's the one that works in this place. Yes, yes, yes. Look at it. You can see it. You can see it from outside. It's beautiful. It's fabulous. It's stunning. And there we go, improving that fireplace area too. And I changed those columns because those columns work better on the outside. Yep, here I go changing the columns. I wanted something more modern on the inside. And I like those. The columns that I use near that fireplace on the left and right are they're new. They're from one of the new packs that I have, and they have some kind of light at the bottom that's really cool that I kind of like. And I can't remember if this is the final solution I end up with on the chimney. It might be. I don't remember. I know I took some of the chimney footage out just because I spent a lot of time on it, and it was just like, it was not interesting even in speedy build form. Because I just couldn't decide what to do with it. I like when I end up with this. I can't talk today. I like what I end up with in this front area, the two-story porch in the front, and I love that they gave us some log furniture, like actual log furniture. So I get to make the front of this place look really rustic, which I really, really love. Here I go trying to do the ceiling with the roof there. I don't know why I just didn't go down a level and tell it to make a ceiling. Maybe I couldn't. I don't know. Sometimes the game gets funny about that sort of thing every now and then. Or maybe it's me. Who knows? It could be a user error. I may just not know what I'm doing. That could be it too. I have no idea. That is, I believe, the final solution I end up with on the chimney because I like the top of it there. Yeah, and then I just put a little thing around it to sort of finish it off. Yeah. I kind of struggle with the roof on the side of the house. At the end of it, I end up putting a tree to cover up where it doesn't meet. Because, the roofs are not, and this is not really a complaint. They're not perfect. But they are pretty cool. I mean, working with the roofs is actually not that bad. I may not be super great at it, but I have to say overall they did a pretty good job with the roofs and what you can do with them. I mean, you can curve them like crazy and everything. And now that they've given us roofs that we can do, different kinds of domes, that's cool. So they've taken care of that. If they made it a little bit easier for us to do mansard roofing, that would be cool. I can do mansard roofing with the tools they give us, though. So at least we can do it. It would just be be cooler if that was like already an option in the game, because like I did another house, or I'm in the middle of actually building another house where I'm trying to do mansard roofing on it. And it was definitely some work to get it. And it still doesn't look like 100% as good as it would if they gave that as an option. And the other thing that I'd like to see in the game, if EA ever listens to my videos, which would be really cool, but the other thing that would be really cool is if we had the more stuff like to make castle kind of stuff. I feel like we don't have enough in the game like to make really cool round turrets and castle-like looking things. And I think that we could have some more stuff to be able to create things that look kind of more castle-like. So that's my other request. There'll always be requests. I always want them to develop more stuff and give us more content, and I always want more and more and more. I'm so looking forward to the laundry stuff pack. This is one of the few houses that I don't have any laundry facility in, but I figured, you're on vacation. You're probably not going to be doing laundry. I mean, some of the log home vacation rentals do have laundry places, others don't, so it just depends. But I didn't make one in this house. We're getting close to the end, to the finishing touches here on the interior, and then now we move into the exterior. And as you can see, I'm on a really small lot, and I use every square inch of this lot and then some on this property. I really, really use every inch of it. And I thought about moving into a bigger lot, but in reality, the size that this lot is about the size that you would have on most of these rental properties. You don't have too much space around them, usually because you have woods around them. Actually, you have woods, you're on a mountain, you have rocks below, you have your trees below you and whatnot. Obviously, I don't have a terrain former here, so I can't make a mountain and whatnot. I do end up putting some rocks, large rocks around the porch and things like that at the end, but in all actuality, the places that I've rented, this is about how much space that you would have on the porches and everything. So I just stuck with it. And here come these little log benches. I love these. I'm so happy we have these. They're so adorable. I love them so much. And this really afforded me the opportunity to make it look really rustic on the outside and still have it really modern on the inside, which is cool for a vacation thing. And here I am with the fire pit, and I'm like, I really want to get the fire pit in here. Really, really want the fire pit in. Can't figure out how to do it, but I do know at this point that I want the fire pit in, which means getting that jacuzzi up top. And here we go doing that. And see, I had put the jacuzzi down the bottom thinking it would be more private at first, but then I said, well, no, I can put a taller fence around the jacuzzi and I can just move the windows in the bedroom to create a sense of privacy for that jacuzzi area. And that can work just as well. And then I ended up with kind of a sort of private fire pit area too. So the whole thing just came together beautifully. And we have the little patio stuff there. I love that we have the ground terrain coloring stuff. I end up going with the pebbles there. I thought that would be more likely. And I love that I just do a little bump out in the back, basically for kind of no reason at all, just for aesthetics. And I end up really liking the way it looks. Of course, I'm going to play with the roof for a little while, trying to get that to work, because I always play with the roofs forever, trying to get them to work. And I can't remember. Yeah, that's the type of roof that I end up with. There we go. And that's part of what creates more of a private feeling in that area too, in my opinion. And I changed out the fence to this new fencing. Again, I don't remember which pack it came from, but I really like that new fencing that I got from one of the packs. It's really cool. And now we just do some landscaping out front. And we're getting close to the end. And I hope that you've enjoyed this as much as I have, because I like this build. I want a vacation in this little house. It's making me want to go back to that Smoky Mountain area where I vacation. and rent myself a little vacation log home there. This, the trees were the hard part because I was trying to not block the view of the house. And in part because, you want to put it up on the gallery, and inevitably the thing takes horrible pictures of your house all the time. And if you have trees blocking it, it does not do well for your house. And so I think I end up taking out a couple of the trees at the end specifically because when I tried to upload to the gallery, it was blocking and making the house look not as appealing. So, oh, and here I go putting in some rocks. I like the rocks quite a bit because it's very true to where I've stayed. You can definitely have rocks and trees and everything all around. And the house is often built on these precarious kind of areas. They're not necessarily built on flat areas very much. But yeah, we get a little bit more stuff in here, and then I end up putting a little bit more landscaping in the front here. Make it look all pretty. I like all these little flowers. Little wildflowers. I kind of overload it a little bit. Because I sort of feel like, well, it's not really landscaped. It's whatever happens to be growing there. And that's like one of the few places where the trees are not blocking the sun all the time. So it gets a lot of little flowers. And from here, we go into some cinematic action before we hit the screenshot. I thought it might be nice to do a little cinema go round of the exterior. The only thing is this house, I ended up building it in Newcrest because I started it as a 10-minute build challenge. Had I realized I was going to build a mountain log home, I probably would have chosen a different location, like maybe Windenburg or something. But, forgive the background a little bit. We can focus on the house itself. I love this back area, especially the little fire pit area, the hot tub. Yes, I want to be there. I want to be in that playroom. And, I've called this place a vacation home so many times, and this is definitely, I may have had vacation home in mind when I built it, but this is definitely playable for the everyday sim family, for sure. This would be a very playable house. And it actually, because of that playroom, it has a lot of stuff for sim skilling, too. And then after this exterior go round on the cinema. Oh, and there's Ebenezer Scrooge. He's one of my Sims. I made an Ebenezer Scrooge. I go into this little clip just to show this beautiful lighting. I love the lighting engine. My goodness. And especially the fireplace and that table. I think that table is probably meant to be outdoors, but I don't care. It just looks so good. I don't even care. It can be inside. And I go back to front with the screenshots just because the front of the house, the great room, is definitely my favorite part. So I wanted to save the best for last. But here's one of the bedrooms and this bathroom. I love this bathroom. I wish it came out better on the gallery for download purposes, but the photos just don't do it justice. Second bedroom. And after this bedroom, we go into my favorite part of the house, which is the front of the house. Well, besides the jacuzzi area, because I would definitely be all about the hot tub. Have some downstairs shots, Sim's Eye view downstairs shots, and then we go to the kind of cool views from the upstairs. This is like if you're standing at the bottom of the stairs. And I didn't show all the detailing, the final detailing on the speed build because I didn't want the video to get too long, but take a look over the fireplace at that piece of artwork and the metal scaffolding stuff around it. It fits so well. It was like a dream come true. It just worked so well in this build. And yeah, hope y'all liked it. And it's definitely available on the gallery. It's under Log Cabin Vacation Home or under Crystal Gamer 1. And thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you again next time. And please don't forget to like and subscribe.